Welcome to Shamanic Guidance. Today we're doing readings that are about cleaning up your vibration, getting into alignment, becoming conscious and aware, and just getting your thoughts around something, getting your thoughts in a good place so that you can move forward in a better way in your life. So we have 3 piles: Elder Beaver, remain focused; Elder Bee, work with purpose; and Elder Butterfly, change is here. Timestamps are below, and I will see you in your readings. Hi Pile 1, welcome to your reading. We're doing clean up your vibration readings today. So these readings are designed to help you clear up thoughts, your energies, your vibration, the way that you're thinking and feeling about something, the way that your energy is moving about something, so that you can get that energy flow moving the way you want it to. And if this is about manifesting something, it's to help you align with that manifestation in a better way. So let's flip your cards. We've got the Brawler, lack of empathy, confrontation; Elder Beaver, remain focused. For Tarot, 6 of Swords, Ace of Swords, 3 of Swords, freedom, in balance, changes, soaring into joy, cave, incubation, sage advisor, seek the guidance of lived wisdom, and for the wind that blows our sails. It looks like what's going on here is you're considering moving away from something, leaving something, freeing yourself from something that feels like it's become out of balance or that it needs to be moved in some sort of way. So you might have recently come into an awareness that something is feeling stagnant or that it needs to change somehow. And we see that with 6 of Swords, with this character who is moving to somewhere else in the boat there. And it's like there's this woman and she has a young daughter in the boat. And I'm getting this sense that we're looking at the inner elder, so to speak, the inner wise one or leader. We've got sage advisor, seek the guidance of lived wisdom down here as well. So it's like there's this inner part of you that knows from life, that has learned, that has wisdom, and that is examining a situation and kind of going, yeah, it's time to move forward. It's time to create some new flow. It's time to listen to the guidance that that I know in myself is right. Whatever I've learned through my life experience, I can see what needs to be done, and we're going to do it. And we have a really nice parallel image with Beaver beside remain focused. What I feel is going on here is you don't have a lot of opposition around you in terms of other people in this movement, but you do have a little bit. It feels like there's this energy here of wanting to move away from someone that you're maybe seeing as not good for you in some way. The other parallel image we have here is this kind of rising above, soaring above, and this energy of remain focused and freedom. It feels like you are having to kind of go your own way, listen to your own wisdom, and rise above something, even though other people may not see things the same way. It's like you need to listen to yourself on this and trust that clarity that you have that might cause some upset around you, but it's not your job to baby people, to babysit them, to manage their emotions or their reactions to you. I feel like there's a bit of a caution here because this reading is asking you to incubate, the cave with incubation. That's a bit of a go within and consider things first message. And the 3 of Swords at the end of the tarot brings up this like painful situation that comes from 6 of Swords and Ace of Swords. It's almost like this freedom thing comes at a cost to something else. So with the Brawler, lack of empathy, confrontation, I wonder if you think that you rising above, like you leaving something, is going to cause some sort of, you removing your energy from something is going to cause some sort of backlash from maybe from people. And I can like potentially, like, I really feel the energy of your inner elder here, but I think you're also working with somebody who's older than you. So potentially a parental figure, a boss, someone who is just older in some way and maybe has some sort of attachment to you sticking around. And there's a bit of energy here of like, just stay in your own lane, use your own wisdom, do what you think is best, remain focused, move forward, elevate yourself, free yourself. And then there's this like backlash a little bit that is, it's like, I wonder if you're breaking out of a maternal complex that says to you, like, when you elevate yourself, you listen to your truth and you take action based on it, even if it means leaving others behind, specifically mother, that something bad will happen, that you're not allowed to do that. That when you sense that like you need change and you need to go and you need to be free, like there's this worry about what's going to happen, like what are the consequences. And I feel too like you even get some like, I guess I'd call it manipulation, or somebody trying to keep you, to make you stay, by calling you like heartless or inconsiderate, or like, oh, what if you're not making the right decision. It's like somebody wants to keep you stuck for themselves, like they're benefiting from you and they want to keep you. And if you leave, then it's like you abandon them, and this person really doesn't want you to abandon them, and so they're ready to bring out like the manipulation. And then there's you going, I just want to be free, I just want to raise out of this situation. So this reading is all about you saying, I need to elevate myself, I need to rise above, I need to change course, I need to free up energy in my life. Here's where I'm going, this is my lived wisdom, I know I have clarity, and I'm going this way. And there is this backlash and manipulating kind of energy that's around, but it doesn't feel like it has holding power over you anymore. At this point, it's more like a fear. This is potentially just something from the past that you need to clean up, that you worry about this person, like leaving them, that they're going to have this backlash, or that you can't handle their energy and like the chaos that will ensue as you pull your presence out of somewhere. But that may be like a perception of yours that's rooted in a complex. And again, I would link this to mother complex. So it's like there's this need for you to pull your energy out of somewhere, to elevate yourself, to move towards what feels clear, and to seek your freedom, to remain focused on your goal, to make the movement, and to go elevate yourself into a higher vibration. But then there's this worry about some sort of backlash, and there's a need to just consider things for a moment. And I feel like this is linked to a bigger family pattern that's kept you stuck in situations, work relationships, and family relationships that haven't served you, that have served to keep you stuck in energy that is not right for you, that doesn't match your energy. And it's this like guilt tripping maternal manipulation thing of like, you can't abandon me, but it's like at the same time there's this need to do that, and there's this like betrayal moment happening within you between the mother complex and like this new you self energy that needs to do this for you, that's based in your own inner elder and what your own inner leader is guiding you to do at this time. So as I said, this is either letting you know that there's a complex kind of interfering here, and in your outer reality, you actually won't even be facing any backlash, or you're just worried about some sort of backlash happening, so that's stopping you from taking action. And that shows you a complex, right? It's like, well, I can't elevate myself and go towards my truth and what's right for me because other people will be heartbroken and I have to maintain them and regulate their response to me and etc. So that's kind of the mix of messages I'm getting here. Now that that's all out in the open, I'm going to pull a few more cards and see where this message goes. Let's look at your next cards. You've got Bright Star, Divine Badass, Winter, The Walker, The Unknown, A Journey, and West, Recuperation, Creativity, Dreams. What I noticed right away is we've got now 2 bears, so I feel that the bear energy is really making itself known here, along with the Winter card. So there is this need to slow down and to incubate before actually taking action. And with the unknown, it feels like you potentially have a different ending to that tarot spread there. The 3 of Swords doesn't need to be where your actions take you. Perhaps what's needed is a bit of incubation time before you make a decision. So I feel like this reading is like you're currently teetering on some decision, and in order to have a better outcome, you're a creator, you can create something better than 3 of Swords. There's an incubation time where you need to slow down and go within and process some of this energy before you make a decision. So you could have like a very nicely divinely timed holiday that kind of kicks in, or this person that you have to deal with is on holiday. There's like some sort of need for that incubation period for you to clean up your energy before you take action. Divine Badass kind of affirms my suspicion earlier around like manipulation and that kind of thing, and somebody trying to influence you. It says, you may feel under pressure to conform, maybe to someone else's opinions or even to your own previous plans or ideas. Side note, that could be your own complex speaking as well, not just another person. That other person is like the external mirror of your inner complex that is telling you that you can't do something because this person's going to be upset, etc., etc. That's a complex, right? And then it just gets reflected in the mirror of reality. So don't give your power to make choices away to another, whether that is the choice of what to believe or how to behave. Don't give away your power to the past if it will take you away from what you know is true now. Even if it seems to be more difficult in the short term, trust that living what you know is true and right for you is the only way that you can gain the happiness and fulfillment that you want and deserve. So this is really about listening to your own lived wisdom, your own inner elder that knows from your life experience. Like there's a decision that you're making or about to make that seems like very clear to you, and that, okay, you've seen this before, this is what happens in this kind of situation, you can see how things are going in a certain direction, and you know how it ends if you don't take this certain action of moving forward, freeing yourself, rising above whatever that is. So you're anticipating something negative that your inner elder knows how to walk in a good way out of it. And then there's this trepidation because of this external influence. And this external influence is either a complex of yours that's telling you that you can't do this for some reason, or that you have to listen to so-and-so. Like there's just this trepidation that feels ancestral, maternal line related, that is kind of scrambling your mind a little bit. So then there's this need for incubation, and bear spirit is really here. I really feel that bear spirit here saying to slow down and take the time to process this. With winter here, again, slowing down, turning inward to move this energy, because it feels, like I said, you have the option to have a different outcome, if you take the time to incubate and shift your energy. So this reading is a let's shift your vibe and make a different result reading. And it's interesting that we're being told we can do that, but not what to do or how to do it, really. Just the fact of you need to incubate. And that might be all you're going to get today from this reading. I will try to pull more cards, but you might know what to do, or perhaps like, okay, go and do this incubation phase and you're going to be walked through it. Like, you will get what you need. The situation will, your life experience will help you walk the journey through. And that might be the message here about this walker card, the unknown, the journey. It's like you might just have to walk this journey a little bit of incubating yourself, and your answers will just come up naturally, or you'll get a dream or something. But let's pull maybe 2 or 3 more cards. We have Sacred Space, Collective of the Southwest, and Speak Up. Okay, so with Collective of the Southwest, Sacred Space, Speak Up, I feel like your situation that you're currently in, that you're anticipating, the three of swords and the confrontation, like you're anticipating this kind of negative interaction with somebody. What I feel like is going to arise in you in this incubation phase is that, like, this situation is not going to have that result. And I think you're traumatized from the past, like experiencing this thing that you lived through where you pulled your energy out of something and some maternal figure, mom, aunt, grandma, boss, somebody got really upset with you and maybe even lashed out, attacked you. Something happened there that was negative and hurtful. And your lived wisdom is going, let's get the heck out of here, because this is where this is going. And there's this other piece of you saying, well, hang on, like, incubate this for a little bit. You're right in some of this, but at the same time, it's like you might be playing out a complex with somebody where it's actually not going to end up in a negative way at all. And in fact, this is a sacred space for you to speak up and resolve this inner complex energy with somebody whose dream is also to resolve this complex with you. So there's this kind of shared sacred space between you and this person where it is safe to speak up. Now, look into your reaction to what I just said there. Do you feel afraid? Do you feel a repulsion? Like, I don't know, what if this isn't safe? Your complex might be showing you there that you're projecting, or you're seeing a situation through the eyes of the complex, like your complex having you rather than you having the complex. And you might be misjudging somebody because of your past experiences. So there really is this need to incubate. The Sacred Space card again is interesting. The Collective of the Southwest, it's like it is this person's desire to resolve this with you, and you have a shared piece of the puzzle here. And I feel like there's this message here around, like, you tend to go it alone and you elevate yourself, but you also elevate yourself out of connection and out of opportunities to resolve energies with people where that is kind of the best way for you to resolve the energies. That at this point, like, you may not even be able to resolve this unless you're in partnership or you're doing it as a teamwork job. So yeah, I feel like you're this lone wolf kind of character that really wants to just fly off. Like, you're an avoidant kind of person that is just like, I'm out. But there's something in here about taking the time to consider. Now, I'm not telling you what to do. We're not telling you what to do here, but to consider talking this situation out with this person and how that would land in your body. How does that feel when you just consider doing it? And just incubate on this for a little while, and you will get your answer. Just slow down, take a little bit of time, do a little meditation, take a few days to let this kind of digest and percolate, and let your dreams show you how to handle this. Maybe a book will come your way, or a quote, or you know, just allow this to cook, allow the universe to bring you some help, some guidance, and let these realizations kind of digest and move on their own for a little bit. Don't rush into action. I pulled one final card, which is Surrender, Liberty Cap. And yeah, I mean, that flying off into freedom doesn't really feel like surrender. It feels a little bit like this is a surrender into the discomfort, or surrender into the, you know, that incubation cave. Surrender into what life is asking of you here. That your old way might be to like cut and run, but to surrender and ask what the universe is like, what has been created for you here, because it might be a container for you to resolve something of yours that it's better for you to work with than to walk away from just plain out. So that's your reading, pile 1. Thank you for listening, and blessings on your journey. Hi, pile 2. Welcome to your reading. We are doing Clean Up Your Vibration readings today. So this is a reading designed to help you get your thoughts, your energies, your emotions, your vibes in alignment into a good, clean flow so that you can manifest whatever you're trying to manifest, or just get into alignment with feeling better, whatever that is. So let's flip your cards. Get back to Elemental, 6 of Cups, 5 of Pentacles, Psychic Protection, Elder B, Work with Purpose, The Surprising Splendor of Life, Enjoy the Fleeting Pleasures of your Everyday, and Trusting Your Intuition. Okay, so I feel like there is a pretty clear message around like I want to say like a workplace conflict, or there's just somebody in your life who's really getting up in your space and feels like, I don't know, pushy, or they're just bothering you. Somebody is just really getting under your skin a lot. I do feel like it's a work thing. And this reading here is, I feel for some of you, it's like this relationship was once pleasant and it's become something else. And what this guidance here is doing is asking you to remember kind of the basics of why you first liked this person. Like this could be a relationship reading, for example, where you're with somebody that's really bothering you lately, and you, at the beginning of your relationship, it felt wonderful, like you didn't have that going on. And I feel like you feel really kind of victimized by this person. Like they're getting in your space, they're in your head, they're just like everywhere, they're too much, and they're really pulling you away from enjoying your life somehow, because I feel like you're just so focused on protecting yourself from them, which is like, at the same time, it's like you're giving them all your mental energy, and then you're blaming them for like almost what feels like a psychic attack. It's like you feel like you're obsessed with them, or you can't stop thinking about them, or their energy's invading your mind or something. Like there's this kind of imbalanced perception going on here, where you're seeing them as some sort of psychic attacker, but what's actually going on is you're just giving so much energy and attention and awareness to this person and all the crap that they're doing, or what they're like thinking and how they're bothering you. And that is the psychic attack. Like you taking your attention and energy away from the goodness of life, your own goodness, like the lovely things around you and the lovely parts of this relationship, because you're just obsessed with kind of like the toxic pieces of it. I feel like whether, this is either somebody you live with, your spouse, a sibling, or somebody at your work, but there's like way too much kind of mental energy going to them and the shenanigans of the relationship, versus like what you need to be doing, which is focusing on kind of like a better time of life with them. Or even if you can't do that, like just focusing on the beauty of your own life. I feel like this relationship has enough nice things in it though, that you can you can shift this by putting all your attention, awareness, and focus on the good parts of this relationship, like how it used to be, and even now, if you can find some of those good pieces. Like, for example, let's say you and your mom have always had a good relationship, but recently she's driving you nuts for various reasons. This reading is like calling you back to the sweetness, back to the basics, back to the good past of what this connection feels like, because it's like you guys are in each other's space a little bit. You're getting on each other's nerves because of giving each other just too much mental energy and focusing on like the annoying things about each other. So as always, when you're the one listening to readings, it's like, well, it's going to be your job to lead this relationship back into a nice feeling state. And this reading's a confirmation that you can do that. Like, instead of this relationship feeling icky and like, you know, I feel like the other person, I'm just noticing this Five of Pentacles, and I feel like my attention is like being sucked into it. Like, oh yeah, Five of Pentacles is like, there's somebody supporting someone else here who can't walk. So what could have happened here is that this other person suddenly is relying on you more than they used to. And this might be really taxing you. Like, maybe they're in a tight spot and they're constantly asking for your help. And this is it's just bothering you. It's soured the relationship. It's feeling like they're draining your energy. But yeah, you have power to influence this relationship back into a better kind of feeling state. Let's pull a few more cards to get some more guidance. We have Risk, the Wasteland, and Heart of Gaja. So this reading's taken a bit of a shift. I feel like, yeah, like you are really investing your energy in a not great way, where you're focusing on this person. It feels like putting your efforts into helping this person is risky to you. Like, it's gonna pull you down and cause you problems. Hence, like, stealing your mental energy, so to speak. You're giving a lot of energy to this yucky situation that you don't need to be in. It feels like it's like a hard situation, because it's like this situation where somebody has suddenly become sick around you, or they're in some sort of crisis, and I feel like you're getting sucked into it because you've been focused on the negative qualities of them. And so it's like you've been sucked right into whatever amplification this is of what's happened to them. Like, you were focusing on this part of them that you didn't like them being codependent or something, or stealing your energy, and then suddenly it became worse, like it became tangible. Like, this is somebody who suddenly got sick, suddenly they're in a car crash, suddenly they are losing their job and they're having this crisis and they need your help. Like, this person, something has suddenly shifted where they've become more codependent, and because you were focusing on that part of them that you don't like, which is that you need to protect yourself from them, and that they're an energy stealer and that kind of thing. It's like you've got sucked into this story somehow. And there's these other cards over here about the beauty of life and being focused on your purpose and that kind of thing, and needing to retrieve the energy that you're throwing into this that is being wasted. And it is quite risky for you to be involved with this person, because it feels like they can really pull you down. They can bring you somewhere negative. But it's challenging. It's like morally challenging. You know, what do we do if someone that we love suddenly has some sort of issue and needs our help? And to help them or to be there for them puts us at risk. Like, we don't have the resources to show up for them in that way. We just don't. So Heart of Gaja says, through conscious reflection upon your ancestral legacies, you can strengthen yourself spiritually, laying to rest any karmic inheritance that has depleted your soul, whilst claiming the positive endowments that are your birthright. Certain elements of the past no longer need a place in your heart and are of no relevance to your future. Sift through the psychic threads of your inheritance, slowly, methodically disentangling yourself from what may have once constrained you. Liberate yourself from the struggles of your forebears, honoring their strength and relishing the freedom you have to choose your own path now. Lay full claim to the hard-won learnings of your lineage. Let your triumphs sustain and empower you to move forward in your life. Your courage to evolve honors the souls of those whom you descended and paves a more blessed path for future generations. So this is really interesting because it's like there's this karmic pattern here, or ancestral pattern. There's this ancestral pattern in your family line of like caretaking or needing to rescue or help. And to do that for you is really not in your highest interest, and it's risky for you, and it's like throwing your energy in the wrong place. And it's like it's interesting because it feels like you don't know whether it's right to walk away or run away from this, or to stay and help. I feel like the answer is to run away and protect yourself, but it's like there's a complex in you that's saying that that's not okay. Like you have to sit and be there for that person because they need you. And that feels like some sort of inner complex that's ancestral. And for example, like for me, I had a situation where a relative got really sick, and I felt like I needed to step in and be there for that person, but I ended up getting so damaged by the experience. And in the future, honestly, it's like I would just walk away, protect myself, and not expose myself to people and their issues. And it's like there is a conflict that comes up around this because it feels wrong to do that. However, there's a time where we need to honor like our own needs and put ourselves first. And for some people, especially like highly sensitive people that are prone to absorbing and really getting sucked into other people's problems, people with weak boundaries or health issues or whatever, like we need to take more decisive action to protect ourselves. So this could be a reading too. You know, there's a trend of people ghosting their relatives, or no longer, you know, cutting out parents that you label as toxic and that kind of thing. And there's this trend towards like protecting the self at all costs. And I really feel like you have a dilemma here, a kind of moral dilemma that's rooted in a complex that says you need to help somebody at the expense of your life, of the goodness of your life, of the pleasures of your life, and that it's necessary to show up for people who are sick and dying and all this stuff, even if it's really bad for you. And I'm remembering too, there's a story around my father showing up for his father when he was sick, and my father's also like extremely sensitive and kind of like a really wounded kind of soul. And for him, going to the hospital every day and attending to his father in that time because he was supposed to really, really damaged him. And it's interesting, you know, there's this familial obligation that comes up based on what our ancestors had to do for each other versus like, you know, if I'm not there to help this person, what's going to happen? Somebody else will show up. They'll figure it out. And it's almost like coming back to this codependency message. It's like this is kind of how the codependency started, was when someone sacrificed like their own pleasure and well-being to help somebody that wasn't really supposed to do that. Like there was someone else who could have been there, or that person needed to get themselves up on their own or whatever. Like so you're grappling with this kind of moral and inner complex issue around sacrificing your own life, your own pleasures, the goodness of your inner innocence, and all that kind of stuff. and investing energy somewhere where it's going to go to waste, unfortunately. So I feel like the answer is pretty clear here. It is like a protect yourself and remove yourself. And I feel like, there's nothing wrong with doing that. And then when you do that, you have the consequences of that to go through. And it's like we're free to choose anything in life, right? So you are free to walk away, and then you might have to deal with some guilt and stuff like that. But the other option is to stay and to risk like being pulled down and really having the bright kind of innocence and beauty of you be damaged and wounded by this experience. And it feels like it's really up to you to make that decision. It's just feels like there's a bit of a warning here around how risky it is and how you would be honestly like wasting your energy, and you might walk away from this experience with a lot of resentment towards this person that you dropped your own goodness to be there for, and that you became diminished because of being with them, of helping them and supporting them, and having this codependency with them. So as hard as it is, pile 2, I feel like your message is to walk away from this person, and it feels like that's going to be really healing for you, although it is difficult and brings up a lot of dilemmas. It's like this is something that's part of your journey that you need to walk through, and it's just going to be really interesting to see what comes up after that, like how you feel after that. And I'll share a little bit more. Like I was saying, I had an ancestor that I had to do this for, that in my mind I had to do this back when I was in my early 20s, and I said to myself, like, well, I didn't say anything to myself. I didn't have a consciousness around like, oh, I could leave. I didn't have like a self-protective mechanism that kicked in and said, we need to get out of here. I just like, I didn't understand that I was not like an immortal, eternal being, that it would take a lot of work to heal myself after exposing myself to like the level of toxic stuff that I let myself be exposed to. So this is kind of like a protect your peace, protect your innocence, put yourself first kind of message here. So we have sharing of yourself and bright destiny. It's like this is your conflict. Like this is the conflict that you're dealing with. Bright destiny says it's okay to feel unclear or even confused about what is happening in your life or within you at this time. It's like that because you are going through soul growth. Things will become clear in time. For now, however, let the process happen. Fear can make us try to force something that isn't quite ready yet. Don't try to impose a meaning, take action, or understand it all prematurely. Don't think too hard. When it is time for you to act, you'll know it. It's okay to relax and trust that the moment of clarity will come when the time is right. So it feels like you're really going through this process where you're confused about what to do. And we see that here with sharing of yourself right beside bright destiny, and like against this whole message that I've been saying of like, I don't know about sharing yourself. I don't know if that's the right thing to do. That, I feel like this is the real meat and potatoes of like, this is part of the individuation journey that you're going through. And this card has reference to butterfly as well, and to that transition from caterpillar into butterfly. So that this is part of your individuation journey, this dilemma here around, shining your light versus being in like these codependent dynamics. It's like, this is very similar to reading number 1, which is super interesting because that reading was about like, do you cut and run, or do you sit and kind of deal with somebody and talk to them and deal with them potentially manipulating you to pull you down and backwards? It's like, do you choose this bright, beautiful, shiny life that you belong in, or you continue grappling with these like codependent kind of characters? it's very interesting. I feel like you should watch pile 1 just as like an interesting reflection on this issue, because the readings are super related feeling in energy. Yeah, I feel like, again, like I said this in pile 1 as well, this reading is meant to help you raise your vibe and like figure yourself out and move forward. But it's almost like right here, all we did was identify the issue and identify that you need to chew on it and digest it a bit more. And that's what pile 1's outcome was too, which is really interesting. It's like, slow down, come to some clarity. There's no need to like take action right now, but it's like there is a need to find the answer here to like what is the right move, because it's like a complex is confusing the answer, or something is not 100% cooked yet. And it's interesting, like I feel like I can't tell you exactly what to do. It's like I'm gonna leave you at this place of like, you know, go journal, go meditate, go incubate yourself. Pile 1's reading was like, go incubate, go in the cave and reflect. And that's kind of your answer here too. So take all of this and do some reflection on it and see where it gets you. Like pile 1, this reading also feels like you're going to come to the answer. It's just that like you have to do this for yourself. I can't do this for you. Like I can't do the work for you. And that in itself could be like we're coming out of a codependency energy where I'm not supporting you and telling you what your decision is. It's like I'm just telling you some things to help you straighten your thoughts out, and then from there on it's all you, right? So super interesting reading, pile 2. Thank you for listening, and blessings on your journey. Welcome to your reading, pile 3. We're doing clean up your vibration readings today. So these readings are meant to help you clean up your thoughts, your emotions, and get into alignment with a solution or manifestation that you're trying to have come into being. The interesting part of readings 1 and 2 was that with both of them, it's like I helped clarify and define things, and then the message was like, okay, pile 1 and pile 2 off on your own to kind of figure it out. And I got this interesting message around like codependent helping people, which is like telling people what to do or giving them too much of an answer, versus being a support and a guide, which is like, here, let me assist you, but I'm not going to make any decisions for you. I'm not going to tell you what to do. So this is a really interesting kind of underlying theme of this reading. And so for you, pile 3, you were the only pile where the tarot cards flew out of the deck on their own, and you actually had these 3 cards fly out totally by themselves, and they like fell on the ground. So I feel like your reading is going to be very potent, very powerful, and like something that really is coming into your awareness at this time. It's really important. So let's flip your cards. You have all threads of fate must bend, 2 of Wands, the High Priestess, 2 of Pentacles, the Captain taking command and teamwork, compassionate acceptance, allow your inner beauty to be seen, Elder Butterfly changes here, listening with your heart, the Isle of Women, women's mysteries, and step into your power. So this reading, pile 3, is letting you know that you are at this sort of threshold moment of change. It feels like this very beautiful rite of passage for women, that it's like you are about to become an adult, kind of moving from maiden to mother, and it feels like this is a celebratory reading commending that you are at this phase. I spoke about butterfly and the individuation process in pile 2, and that feels connected to you as well. Pile 3, you've got butterfly here. You just got these beautiful like third eye colored indigo cards with these women, and just really get this sense like you're walking through the threshold, just like that High Priestess there walking through that gateway, and you're going into this new phase of your life where you are like an adult woman. You're going from maiden to mother. Really just feel that moment. All the threads of fate must bend. It's kind of this, you know, with that and butterfly, like this promise that things are changing for you. I feel maybe like you're having trouble with accepting that things are going to be different for you, or like you're not expecting your life to change much, or just maybe having trouble like seeing that you can be different, that your life can be different, but you're really being called out into to share your medicine, like to come out. And it really is like moving from maiden to mother. I can't say that enough, but like moving from that learning and that just gestating kind of girl energy into that female that is standing in her power, in her light, the captain taking command, teamwork, step into your power. Like allow your inner beauty to be seen, butterfly. It's all about coming into your power as a woman and really stepping onto the world stage and sharing your gifts, sharing your light, letting yourself be seen, letting yourself be heard and known, and having your gifts out into the world. So in terms of getting into alignment, it's like I feel like it's just, you just need this reflection at the moment because you're maybe doubting that this is happening for you, or you need a little push forward of like, yeah, get into it. Like step up, it's your time, baby. Like step into the spotlight. It's kind of like when you have an actress on Broadway and you're standing at the back of the stage there, and there's like the producer that's kind of like pushing the actress, like, it's your time, get out there, go. And she's like, oh, what, like me, it's time already? And then, just kind of disoriented, and just the producer, like the universe, life is going like, okay, out you go. It's time to shine and share your light. And you're going like, what, really? Is it really my time? Like, what? So yeah, this is just a little bit of like a little bit of disbelief, like, oh, this is finally time for me. So yeah, it's just honoring this transition time. And it's interesting because like in our modern culture, we don't do rite of passage ceremonies so much anymore. I think like the newer spiritual people are kind of starting to bring ceremony back into spirituality, but there's still not like mass celebrations of rites of passage in a lot of cultures in North America. It's just not something that's super duper common just yet. So this might be some sort of calling to like throw yourself some sort of rite of passage ceremony, a party, do something for yourself to acknowledge that like you have moved into this next phase of your life, because I feel like your psyche needs that ceremony to really like ground that this is happening for you. I really, really feel that, because we just flow through life without really celebrating or acknowledging the transitions, like these major transitions. And if you're not actually becoming a mother, like I don't feel really that that's what's happening for you. I feel more like you're moving into your own personal spotlight in life. Like you're becoming the leader of your life, the authority of your life. You're becoming an adult. You're coming out into the world with your gifts, and you're sharing and you're shining. And there's not really like a defined moment where this is being acknowledged and celebrated in the physical world in like a tangible ceremonial rite of passage kind of way. And I feel like the psyche really needs that kind of ceremonial acknowledgement, and for that to be enacted out in the physical, like an embodied rite of passage, because we get disoriented. Like we have trouble shedding skins and understanding that we're becoming something else. Like we don't have a huge looking process where we start as a caterpillar and we're in a cocoon, and then suddenly we emerge as this entirely different being. Like our transitions are pretty quiet and mellow most of the time. Like we don't suddenly sprout wings and start glimmering. We do that internally, but it's not really something that is like this big ceremonial thing. So I feel like that's what you need from this reading here, but I would really guide you to like get some of your girls together and do like a rite of passage ceremony, because I feel like you just need that definition. You need a celebration and like just this moment that acknowledges in a really embodied way that this is who you are now. You're shedding this old role, like that's not here anymore. You're becoming this other person, and it just really needs to be acknowledged in a bigger way so that you can walk forward feeling like more clarity and certainty about who you are now and what you're moving into, and to help you kind of let go of the past and close up old ways of relating, old ways of being, etc., etc. And for some of you, it's like your life may not look very different right now than it did a few weeks ago when you were still in the maiden energy. Like, it might be really hard to have a marker that of what's happening for you, but there is this real depiction here of someone who has emerged from maiden to mother, like has gone through this initiation and is now in this new phase of being, but you may not have any sign of that in your external just yet. So yeah, it's just this need to bring that into physicality. So let's do a new set of cards. We have Giant Hogweed Intolerance, Nourish the Sacred Feminine, again pointing us back to the feminine. The Blue Temple, pointing us to that dark blue color that I noticed. Amalthea with relationships, love, and more feminine connections there. And then Gratitude again. I'm going to read out Azure Vault, the Blue Temple. Welcome to the Blue Temple, the home of the alchemical imagination. You have entered a space of new depths, new possibilities. The inner eye opens and you become willing to see in a new way. To understand this card, one must study blue itself. It is the celestial color of the sky, the ocean, and the peacock's tail. Though potent, blue slips away. Through this color, our imagination threads together experiences both grim and glorious. We are taken into the depths of mood, tone, rhythm of the blues. The eternal mystery of blue will only deepen as we study it, and this is precisely the point. Leave the cerebral behind, cloak yourself in the sapphire robe, and sit quietly in the vault of mysteries. So, along with this message of moving into this new phase, it feels like you're also being welcomed into a new phase of relating to the divine feminine energy, that this energy is, now relating to the divine feminine through the mother archetype. Like, it's like this is an entirely new energy that feels very full of potential, right? So the mother is very different from the maiden. The mother's all about being a creator and about birthing, and what she's bringing into the world it's what she's giving life to that's inside of her. So there's there's a big call here to go into the intuition and into what you might call the void energy, which is like, in your reading, it's the spiritual void, like the spiritual womb, the intuition, that really deep inner connection, and seeing what wants to be birthed through that feminine, that new mother energy that's emerging here. So what I'm really interested in this reading is that we're getting, as we go deeper into the reading, we're getting these little indications that there's something that needs resolving here. The first card from the first set of cards, the card from the first set of cards that caught my attention on this was the listening with your heart, and then like the teamwork, taking command, the captain, teamwork and taking command, and the threads of fate. Things are going to change. It's like, I feel like there's a message here around relationships with other women changing. And in the second round of cards, we have this message about being grateful, maybe noticing the positives. We have a message of intolerance, which is like kind of rubbing up in the wrong way against others, specifically women. And then the Amalthea card just brings to mind like relationships with other women that are now kind of being a little bit stressed because of this new orientation, that suddenly you've stepped into the mother role, and the women around you, it's like your connection to them is also shifting because you're no longer relating to them through the child energy, like in maybe some codependent way. So I'm going to read Amalthea, and then we're going to pull more cards, because it's like we're diving now into some deeper message here around the mother complex, maybe around the feminine, the ancestral feminine, and relationships to other women, and the way that that's changing because of you stepping into that mother part of your life. Your soul is learning about love. Whether you fully realize it or not, you are breaking free from a pattern of relationship that has not been respectful enough of you and your heart. This includes the relationships you've had with yourself, with others, be they friends, romantic connections, colleagues, or strangers, and even the universe. As you allow yourself to feel worthy and release feelings of hate, shame, guilt, or judgment towards yourself, a new spirit of gentleness, love, and devotion will fill your heart and transform the quality of your connections with others and the universe. A beautiful new world of love is opening up for you. Have faith in your ability to love and in the power of your heart. Then your next set of cards, Strength, offering assistance, mediation, patience. The Crossroads, Champion, achievement, downfall. And Strive for opportunity. Use your gifts to open doors to new endeavors. Okay, this is where I feel like we're finally getting somewhere. So more than just you being initiated into the mother and stepping into a new energy, this reading is also saying that you have a new place in your feminine community, in your community generally, but specifically with other women in your life, and you're being called into a new role that you can potentially step in here. So I'm going to read the Spirit Path of the West, the Strength card. I feel like it's really relevant. It says, a situation has presented itself that requires you to step forward and share your strengths with others. This position may frighten you, but it is time for your strengths to be used for the higher good. You are a natural mediator and very good at encouraging others to do well. Using your strength requires compassion towards others and a non-judgmental attitude. Be patient with what is unfolding in your own life. Strength requires perseverance, courage, and productivity blended with a faith in yourself and in Great Spirit's divine plan. Accept the responsibilities coming your way by drawing upon your inner reserve of strength. The Strength card is never given lightly and often comes after you have completed a test from Spirit. You have proven your worth on some level. So this is you stepping up into a greater leadership position and guiding others, coming out of maybe like a more intolerant and judgmental view of others and having more compassion. And it seems like you're good at resolving conflicts. Like you might have the ability to see someone else's shadow and to kind of gently bring it up in a kind way that can then dissolve a conflict between that person experiencing that shadow moment and somebody else and maybe their shadow moment. So this is you being called upon to mediate a situation, to use your gifts, to walk forward and kind of show who you really are and how you deal with things. So I feel like there's a general message here, like a macro version of this, like you stepping into the mother archetype and occupying a new place in the world, shining your light, becoming that butterfly, and being in that mother role of like birthing and creating and accepting that this is your new position. And at the same time, like you're also needed right away to occupy your gifts and your strengths and to stand in them. And if this is something that you don't know what it is yet, this could be potentially a reading that's heralding something that's coming into your life that you need to mediate and that you need to use your strengths to maneuver in a good way. I feel like you have the power to influence a situation into something better, and this is a call for you to use your wisdom, your knowing, your lived experience, and to just really, it's like this is your initiation into the mother archetype, is to really step forward here into this micro situation where you can do that. So that's your reading, pile 3. Thank you for listening, and blessings on your journey.